Lewis Hamilton has been racing for over 15 years, and to this day, he has never gone an entire season without registering a win. But alas, it feels like this year that's finally going to change. Understandably, the British megastar wants to do everything in his power to avoid this unwanted record. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how Hamilton's winless year isn't off the table just yet. So let's dive in. First off, Red Bull has just been too good. Even though Mercedes has been doing better lately, it really doesn't feel like they'll be able to get a win this season. Mainly because Red Bull and Max Verstappen have been proving every weekend that they're just too far in front at the moment. In a recent interview, the 37-year-old said that they have to be realistic and accept that Red Bull is almost unbeatable, and that it's going to take some real doing to beat that car. He expressed that performance-wise, they have just not been able to catch Red Bull, and they don't have any upgrades coming to enable them to do something special. At this point, he really believes that only luck can save them. Lewis did say, though, that it's not impossible because they could have beaten them in Budapest. But again, he pointed out that Max is generally pretty chilled at the front, so you can never really tell what their true pace is. Verstappen has been in scintillating form recently and has won the last 5 races with ease. Next up, let's talk about the Dutch Grand Prix. Hamilton and co. were on their way to securing a 2022 victory during the Dutch Grand Prix after they put together a tactical masterclass to try and defeat Red Bull. But unfortunately, safety cars ruined their plan and Hamilton had to settle for the 4th spot across the line. If just one thing had gone differently, we would not be here today. Still, you have to give it to Red Bull. They've been unbelievably good this season and they just haven't let any of the other cars breathe. Verstappen is an absolutely incredible driver and he just never lets the occasion get to him. Sometimes, it's really hard to believe that he's merely 24 years old. Verstappen's triumph at the Italian Grand Prix had fans talking about the 2021 finale, where a safety car gave him the advantage to overtake Hamilton and claim his very first world title. Now, he has the opportunity to win his 2nd straight crown at the Singapore Grand Prix. Not only will he have to win, but he'll also need Charles Leclerc to finish 9th or below, or not to finish at all. His teammate, Sergio Perez, will need to finish outside the top 3 as well. Coming up, Verstappen compares this season to his final in go-karts. Verstappen has recently said that this phenomenal season reminds him of his final year in go-karts in 2013, when he managed to win the world and European karting titles. He expressed that in terms of feelings, it's very different because at that moment, Formula 1 is your goal. Yes, he enjoyed what he achieved, but he also thought that there was still a long way to go before he could fulfill his dreams. He called the final year of karting beautiful and revealed that it was a really wonderful time in his life. Coming up, Verstappen could make history this season. If he manages to win at Singapore, he'll secure the driver's title with 5 races to spare. But while it's a remarkable achievement, this will not be a world record feat. The legendary Michael Schumacher went on an insanely good run in 2002 and made sure that he was crowned as the champion when there were still 6 races to be run that year. Verstappen, however, will become the joint 2nd on the list of earliest championship successes, sharing that spot with Nigel Mansell, who achieved this back in 1992. As for Hamilton, he's never won a title this early. The closest he got was in 2015 and 2020. On both occasions, there were 3 races remaining. The record that Verstappen can break this season is the percentage lead a winner has over their nearest challenger. He currently has 53% more points than Leclerc. The best anyone has ever achieved in history is 48%, a record shared by Mansell and Jacques Villeneuve. Apart from that, another incredible thing that Verstappen has done is winning 11 races this year. He has 6 more events to pass the current record of 13 in one season. The only 2 people who have won that much in one calendar year are Schumacher and Sebastian Vettel. So yeah, folks, Max is really on his way to making history. It wouldn't be a stretch to say that if he keeps going like this, he could genuinely become one of the greatest racers of all time. Up next, Hamilton does not see the end of season run as a chore. Mercedes salvaging anything from this season is looking increasingly unlikely. From the start of the year, the Silver Arrows have struggled as Hamilton and teammate George Russell were put on the back foot due to porpoising and mechanical bouncing. They tried to use the innovative zero-pad design for the W13, but unfortunately, this decision has backfired. Setting up the car has often been a headache for their team, and drag efficiency has hurt their straight-line speed as well. This has meant that they've been far from their best this season, with only the high downforce and smooth surfaces venues providing opportunities to challenge challenge the leaders. In a recent interview, Lewis was asked if he believes the end-of-season run-in would be a chore. The 7-time world champion said that he doesn't see it as a chore at all because he genuinely loves the work that they are doing. It doesn't matter if they're fighting for the first or something else. He loves getting in a huddle with the engineers and mechanics every weekend. Now he believes that there's still a lot of room to improve. The reason the Brit has been at the top of the sport for so long is that he's always trying to learn and improve. He's not one to take setbacks to heart and is consistently trying to be better. Lewis said that he loves having the back-to-backs because if you have a bad weekend, you can make up for it next week. He loves the challenge of fighting every single time. He revealed that the amount of engineering that they have to do to dial it in is really tricky, and he's just using this as an opportunity to improve his engineering side. And he added that he doesn't want the season to go by quicker because there's still a lot of information to gain. As a driver, he wants to figure out which areas he can improve upon to make sure that he makes the least amount of mistakes. Hamilton's commitment to the sport has always been super impressive, and these comments further indicate that even when he retires, he's always going to stay involved in one way or another. So yeah, while a winless year isn't off the table just yet, he's only going to use this for his own advantage. And now, it's time to move on to some more F1 related news. Other related news. First, Daniel Ricciardo is ready to spend a year off the grid. Fan favorite Ricciardo is not really having the best year. McLaren decided to terminate his contract 1 year early after he consistently struggled to match teammate Lando Norris. The company signed Oscar Piastri for 2023 after winning a contract battle with Alpine. He doesn't really have a lot of options right now, and he's accepted that he might have to spend a year away from the top flight. He expressed that he's not going to rush to get back on the grid. He'll only come back if he knows that it's in a healthy environment that suits him. Next, De Vries talks about his future. Following his F1 debut at Monza, Nyck De Vries has the opportunity to join Alpine and Williams as well as the Red Bull camp. Speaking on the Dutch TV show Humberto op Zaterdag, he said that he doesn't think he's in a position where he can choose, and his F1 future is largely out of his control at the moment. He admitted that he's been in talks with Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko, but he'll be happy wherever he can get a permanent seat. Finally, George Russell reveals that nothing's off the table for the 2023 design. Russell was recently asked if he believes that Mercedes will change their radical design for 2023, and he replied by saying that he believes nothing is off the table. They've got a pretty unique design with the side pods, so they could either continue with this or completely change their philosophy for next season. He said that at the end of the day, having wide side pods or narrow ones isn't exactly the performance differentiator, as there is much more to it. He claimed that they now have a totally clear direction of how to develop the car, and next year will be sort of an evolution of this. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Lewis Hamilton can manage to win a race this season? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.